And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome. You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say.
Hey there, Leo. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. What we're looking at is the first and last for the coming month of October. Yeah, September went by in a flash, and now we're looking at for first and last what's coming in, what's going out. In the top layer, you will see the aces of all the elements: water, earth, fire, and air. Right, that which is representative of each element, each elemental concept within tarot, but ultimately all the aces, meaning, hey, what's new? What is up for renewal in some cases? What's beginning? What's, really getting us going? In the tens beneath, so we have the aces on top, tens on the bottom, culminations, ultimatums, endings, things of that nature, where we have our first and our last. That's why we call it first and last. What does that mean for us? It means some conclusions have been reached. As a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse, right? At times when it gets kind of dicey in a read, or, hey, what are we trying to figure out here? Just talk with me. Look at your reading for what it's worth, because either it's going to really hit or it's going to really not. And if it doesn't, because sometimes it does happen, you can't come to a Leo reading as a Leo and feel like, maybe this wasn't of the Leo's reading. I'll catch you around. Trust me, I got a lot of cards to read. But for the sake of the conversation, for what it's worth, follow along with me today. And yeah, Leo, for your first and last, let's see what the cards say. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo and their reading. We start now upon the aces, first and last. Let's look at the Ace of Cups. What about emotional openings and that which fulfills? Show us the cards that we need to see, please. Didn't hit the table, cannot take. What are the cards we need to see, please, for Leo in the first and last read for October? First and last, first we look to this Ace of Cups. Knight of Swords. Okay, so we made a decision on something. I like that. Around what? Move this down just a little bit. Knight of Swords. Three of Swords. Okay. Around the issue of pain of heartbreak. And the Page of Pentacles. Oh. Okay. Putting those two together, what's giving you emotional fulfillment right now, Leo? I can't sit here and cry about this the entire day. I am looking at a Leo and said, yeah, the pain is real, the pain is there, and I got stuff to do with my life right now. Right? We're making a firm decision with that Knight of Swords, addressing that Three of Swords, right? That, yeah, it doesn't change the fact that the pain is there, whatever is getting at us or eating at us. But I gotta try. I gotta put one foot in front of the other. I gotta say, hey, what does this journey entail for me? What is gonna be emotionally fulfilling? I can't just stay here brokenhearted whole day. Okay, got it. So your fulfillment, you're actually trying to force yourself to emotions of how can we find the betterment of a situation that, regardless of how it played out, I know how I feel, and I know the life I gotta go live. Got it. To the Ace of Pentacles, solidly of tangible opportunities for Leo in this first and last. To the Ace of Pentacles. What rests upon that Ace of Pentacles for Leo in their read? Because again, that's a very firm decision. And again, I also see a lot of effort involved in that, because there's a level of hesitation with that Page of Pentacles because out of all the pages, or like I like to call the kids of tarot, that's the one who most tangibly tries. Maybe a little toe dipping, but at least it's trying. So in the Ace of Pentacles, Page of Wands, okay, the optimism of opportunity, trying to see the good in something new coming about. Justice, the card of Libra. We're now moving into Libra season at time of the recording. So that the scales of equity will balance out whatever this process is meant to be. It will work in the favor that it should. And the Eight of Cups, walking away. Right. So whatever this pain was back here, you're saying, yeah, I'm sad. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, I acknowledge all of that. And the best thing I can do right now is let the universe do its magic, do your thing, do its work, and walk away. You're seeing opportunity from leaving something behind. Very clear, very cut. Got it. What that thing is yet, not entirely sure, but whatever weighs in your heart right now that you've already made the decision to walk away from, whatever the most resonant, that's probably what's kicking right now. So to the Ace of Wands, your home element of fire. So the cards that we need to see, please. Leo in their first and last read. What of that Ace of Wands? That which drives the human spirits. To the Ace of Wands. Hermit, card of Virgo. Okay, so we want to be driven towards trusting our own healing path, finding our own medicine, and finding what works for us. Death, card of Scorpio, that some cycle must be put to an end. And not in like the scary way, because again, death, I feel, has such a terrible reputation, particularly because of horror media. Death here representing transformation, right? The only way I'm going to get over it is by going through it. Okay. Five of Cups. We are going to deal with every aspect of this pain that we feel like we can't escape right now. The optimism there, the healing there is that, and to be fair, Leo, I'm trying to, I very much do agree with you and trying to understand this, is that the tools are somewhere in my toolkit. I just got to go find them. And until I can fix this, until I can address whatever is going on with me or this or whatever the situation is, I have to say, hey, even pain has value. Right? Very strong opening, because instead of trying to look away from it, dodge, veer, whatever type of adjective or action that we're trying to describe it as, no, I'm looking at Leo and said, it ain't gonna get no easier. Let's do it. Right? That's very adamant energy, because what we're saying here is that we acknowledge the pain. The only way I can find brighter tomorrows is by actively and intentionally addressing it and leaving it behind. And so I'm trying to embrace the idea of embracing all of the pain, right? Sitting with it, looking it straight in the face and not running away. Okay? In the Ace of Swords, what of truth and by extension challenge for Leo in their first and last read, month of October? What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo in this read? In the Ace of Swords, Four of Pentacles, learning what we hold on to, and by extension, learning what we got to let go of. That's pretty obvious, pretty cut and clear. Five of Wands, the external conflict that is held, not simply the notion of competition, because again, not all competition has to be incredibly hostile, but here, whatever external party or factor is causing this feeling within, is also driving us to understand what we hold on within. right? In other words, whatever external conflict that we're having, that we're trying to grapple with both ultimatums and pain around, very clearly in your opening, Leo, it also is driving you towards the truth of what you've held on to. They both go hand in hand. Strength, card of Leo. And so that is you. And saying very, very bluntly, show me what you're made of. Right. You're actually very much challenging yourself in the notion in this position of challenge. The truth that you hold here is that if I can look this conflict directly in the face, no matter how it played out, I will actually understand myself better, because I'll notice things about myself that instead of externalizing all my issues and all my pain, all my frustration onto the conflict, I can actually better understand my position and how I got here. That Four of Pentacles, what am I holding on to? That long-term investment, that thing that I'm almost white knuckle gripping, not letting go of, right? This conflict is actually bringing that out, and it's making me understand myself better. That's why I found value in trying to address this pain instead of trying to bury it, at least immediately. Underneath, Nine of Swords, anxiety, worry, but also the things that we may not feel we have control over, right? I'm seeing, again, in your opening, your first and last, Leo, and I don't want to say good or bad, because that can be incredibly misleading, because you're finding purpose in the bad and almost delayed gratification with the good. So what does that mean to you at this point, right? What I'm seeing in your opening across the board is, no, we're not running from anything. This lion's going to stay for that fight. I commend you, because whatever you're trying to battle right now, whether that be a personal battle, pain, whatever this is, there's also the notion that, hey, I got me. And all aspects are leading you to that conclusion as well. So the next part, okay, I think this must be said. So, yeah. And I think this was, I was trying to walk away from it, at least in the initial opening, but I think this also must be addressed. There's a contingency of the Leo collective right now where somebody very important has passed away from them. I will say that. And the reason being is because you're seeing so much fulfillment in trying to let the equity of whatever the situation is pass, particularly that which you feel you have no control over, right? So particularly to have that deep-rooted pain and that healing and the transformation of death to all tie one in one, and still have all those nightmares and things still remain, for a certain contingency of the Leo collective right now, my condolences. Genuinely, truly, and nothing else in between. My condolences for those who are dealing with the pain and grief and loss of somebody that very much meant a lot to us, and then trying to learn the world thereafter, thereby understanding, hey, every external conflict I'm having is ultimately pointing to everything that this taught me. There's definitely a portion of the Leo collective going through that right now, and I want to respect that. Yeah. Ooh, that hit me really hard. Let's go to the tens. What of culminations and ultimatums? Here, we're going to start again with water, with that 10 of cups. Show what we need to see, please, for the Leo collective. Now, find the tens in their first and last for the month of October. What of harmony and synchronization? Ten of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. Okay, learn to get comfortable with the space and place that you hold right now. How so? Ace of Swords, finding a deeper and more hidden truth. In what way? Hierophant, the card of Taurus. Here, being guided on a spiritual path. May whatever this experience right now teach me something. May everything have its value and its worth. And you're trying to, I wouldn't want to say making lemonade out of lemons, but I am looking at a Leo who is acknowledging the situation, is not trying to run from the situation, and in fact is, again, trying to make the best of what they got right now. That is their truth. Even if I'm not okay, I'm going to make myself be okay in the best ways I know how. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm working with. To the Ten of Pentacles. Show the cards that we need to see, please, upon the Ten of Pentacles. The Sun, the happiest card in the deck. The brighter days lie before us. We just got to keep building, and we just got to keep pushing. I like that. We got some happiness, some overwhelming joy in this read. I think, at least for the Leos I'm talking to, that's very much welcome and appreciated right now. What else upon that Ten of Pentacles? That Sun just rolling out the deck. I gotta watch this later because that was... Normally, when cards fly out the deck, it's like, okay, you could have got this wrong, boom, goes onto the table. Here, that one said, it rolled like a cartwheel right into that position. And yeah, just being able to see that for you, and particularly upon that Ten of Pentacles, Leo, saying, hey, this tree of life, I'm going to make it the happiest one I've ever experienced. Right? Whatever we got to do to build that, that's where I'm at right now. The sun keeps on shining. There are brighter days ahead of us. I just got to keep going. What else lies upon that Ten of Pentacles in this read? Ten of Cups, harmony. And so everything that we're building now into whatever distant future we're seeing, let it be right for us. Let it be with purpose, and let it be with a guided track. The Hangman, time to tell. And I see this as, because it has both the Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles attached to it, there's so much time-based orientation involved with this, not simply because of the Ten of Pentacles representing all experiences, past, present, and future, and the things that we invest ourselves into, right, Leo? But we're putting all of our pain, all our worry aside, and that's why you had such a strong opening and declarative opening of we're not running away from pain, because we're trying to build brighter tomorrows here. Whatever we're struggling with, and again, for the contingency who had a loved one pass, whatever that experience was for you, Leo, I'm gonna build a much brighter day ahead of me. I just gotta keep going. The Hangman isn't necessarily a passive observer. That one is more active because you're trying to make sure you're doing right, because you're trying to take on the battle as soon as we started this read. And now, the long term, what are we doing and how are we moving with it? So the Ten of Wands, reveal the Ten of Wands upon this read. What is held in the Ten of Wands for this read? The home element of fire for Leo. What are the burdens carried? So let's cards that we need to see, please, upon that Ten of Wands. And what are we trying to sit with? Temperance, the card of Sagittarius. The understanding that, hey, may not be perfect right now, but it will heal. Things get better with time. The Fool, the power of new beginnings. And again, as we were trying to force ourselves so hard in the beginning, if we keep on putting one foot in front of the other, step by step, pace by pace, wow, how did we get down the road? Right? And next, the Three of Wands, the anticipation of the horizon. Putting all that together, hey, I may not know what it looks like right now, and that's okay because I don't have to. What I have to do is focus on getting me right for whatever that journey entails. Upon the Ten of Swords, what about sharp realizations and conclusions for Leo in this read? to see, please, upon the Ten of Swords, the Leo in this read. Four of Wands. So what does it mean? And I don't necessarily take this as because it is associated with being one of the coupling or intimacy cards in the tarot deck. I don't necessarily take it as just you and another person, but rather the sharp conclusions of what does home feel like to me. That Four of Wands, that boundary, that creation, what does that actually mean and or look like to me? Right? I think whatever this experience was for you really helped you define, even if in the backwards unintentional way, it really honed in on what home meant for you. Five of Pentacles, the feeling of being left out or left behind. And it goes both ways, both for the Leo who is struggling, whether that be a relationship that was put to an end, a friendship, working dynamic, whatever that was, and also for the Leo collective who had a very loved and very cherished person pass for them. Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities await, because it wasn't just all doom and gloom. Look what it taught me. Underneath it all, Three of Swords, heartbreak and remorse. Yeah, we're feeling purpose and pain. And I don't think, we had to take it all on at once. Please don't do that to yourself. I don't want to see you destruct, Leo, right? But we also have to acknowledge this is heavy on us right now. And that's all the more reason to find the ways and the spaces to be kind. Let's go to next. Define the major arcana stream across the table for Leo in their first and last read, month of October. What is the first one? To Justice, card of Libra, as we are now in Libra season. We will define justice and move forward. Put the major arcana across the table for Leo in their read. The Justice, the Sun. And again, that's what, pretty much what we're getting in the opening, right, Leo, was that, okay, there has to be a purpose behind why I'm dealing and trying to grapple with such astronomical levels of pain and frustration right now. And the belief ultimately is that I got to do this right now. Because if I let it meander, if I let it falter, if I let it just sit there and fester and stew, well, it's not going to do me any good, right? So the belief that, hey, I may not see it right now, but if I'm saying I'm trusting the process, then I'm going to look for the good things. And then eventually will find me right back. First to the Hermit, the Hangman. Our answers are not easily found there, but they are found with time, right? So giving ourselves the patience and the grace to say, hey, I need to remember how to do this and how to heal properly. To Death, the card Scorpio. Queen of Swords, something is solidly over. Solidly, that's not a word. And so trying to embrace that, the cold, hard truth, the cold, hard facts of the situation, whether that be the group of Leos where a loved one passed away, or the other group where an opportunity is solidly just done and over with. We're coming to not only the cold, hard acceptance of that truth, but trying to embrace it to its fullest extent. To Strength, your card, Nine of Swords. In all my nightmares and all my pains, let this conflict show what lies within. Again, you're trying to deal with it directly, and the challenge that you're almost issuing to yourself, like a decree, right, from an authoritarian figure, is show me what I'm made of. Okay, I can respect that. Ten of Hierophant, Page of Cups, trying to see the good in whatever this new spiritual journey entails. Okay, next, I saw the Hangman first, so let's look at the Hangman. Four of Swords. Things get easier with time. And I think for what you're looking at, Leo, why we're observing, why I'm trying to learn so much in such a condensed amount of space, because again, that was our opening, is that, hey, it doesn't all have to be horrible and miserable. In fact, it can be better. To that sun, the magician, we are manifesting that happiness coming into our lives, and we want it to be right, so we want it to be here to stay. I saw the Fool first. High Priestess. Underneath that Fool, a new beginning lies in front of me. I just gotta be brave enough to go see it. To this Temperance, the card of Sagittarius. Five of Wands. And whatever external conflict, because we identified that under your Ace of Swords, right, up here in your opening. So now that external conflict or whatever was giving me such unrest and such unease, no, we see it as part in it, actually intrinsic to the journey, which is why it was worth carrying on your back in the first place. Pretty much. Okay. And no other, okay. Lastly, show resolution. Show cards of resolution for Leo in their first and last read in October. What is held in resolution, first and last for Leo for their read in October. Resolution we hold. Two of Swords. Okay, the notion of confusion of where things are at right now. Fair enough, but maybe that's why we're trying to engage with conflict. Just throwing that out there. And the Nine of Pentacles. Freedom and autonomy. It is our choice of what we choose to deal with, right? It is our choice of embarking on this very, very, very painful journey that you're going on right now, Leo. But ultimately, you see that as by the end of that journey, you find your freedom. That is what you're trying to see. That's what we're locating value in. Underneath it all, Four of Pentacles. And again, we had that somewhere over here, underneath your Ace of Swords, that Four of Pentacles. Being that as you're underneath, comparing to the other two, that Nine of Swords and Three of Swords, all our nightmares and all our fears are pointing us exactly in the direction that we need to look at. And that's why we haven't let go, right? It's not because we don't understand that holding on to it can be, bad and terrible. I'm actually looking at a Leo who has very much acknowledged that it can be almost soul crushing and dampening at times to have to deal with this. And simultaneously, why do we hold on to it? Because we want to learn from it. We still see value in it somehow. It's not the fear of letting go. It's not the fear of, oh, this is something that I can't leave behind, but rather I wanted to leave things in the best note possible. I want to learn how to leave behind properly and find me all over again. So that's what I see in your first and last read for the month of October, Leo. Very, very tough and in-depth one, I do understand. And again, for that contingency of Leos who has had somebody passed on, my condolences. It is very much obvious that you wanted that person to know that they were loved and cherished in your life. No other way to say it. And whether that does apply to you having the loved one pass, or the other situation of truly accepting that something is completely over, understand looking and addressing the problem like directly in its face is actually doing the right thing. Right? Because we're doing basic equations in math. In order to solve a problem, we must first establish that it exists. And for, again, the Leo that I'm talking to, we're going to look at everything, no matter how much it pains us. And at times, even when we feel like there's no way out, we understand the sun's trying to come out. There is good, there is purpose in all this. I just have to push myself, and I always have to give myself grace and wait. And both of those things can happen at the same time. This conversation helped, Leo, and be kind to yourself, okay? My table will be here. See ya.